So this is from yesterday. This is what came up on the scanner. So if you can see this one, it was AMAT. This came up at 6:27 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is something that came up after market close. The market closes at 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time. So after hours also I love to buy because you can sort of get in without too much drama. So I bought at 5 minutes later. So 6:27, this is 6:31. So 3 minutes later, I went and bought 200 shares of AMAT at 458.80. So this morning, I sold two tranches now. And this is just one day. Just I want you to understand that I have gone and sold AMAT. So I bought it yesterday. So I sold the first lot today. This was at 9:47 in the morning. The market opens at 9:30. I sold 100 shares at 473. Then at 10:05, again, I sold a few, 33 shares at 480. And I'm looking at AMAT now, it is at 483. So the next level that I will probably sell some shares would be around 490. So I've got another 66 shares left. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to sell 33 more at maybe 485, and I'm going to sell another 30 shares or whatever I have left at around 490. So why 490? Because something called the call wall is at 490, which basically means that all the hedge funds, all the big players are positioned where they will be selling their shares at that number. So, the big players that is the number. The call wall is sort of where, there will be likely to be some selling, right? Now, it doesn't mean that the share will not go over 490. It's possible it can go over 490, but statistically, there is a large possibility that it will stall at that number. So life and the stock market is all about probabilities. So if you understand probability, there is your reason for me to sell and get out. Now, in terms of the P&L, is it a big win? Not really. I mean, so I bought it, I think it was 453, and I'm selling at 480 is my highest sell. I made $27 on 453. So it's about 5% gain, 5.5% gain. But if you think about it, 5% gain in one day, right? So that is what the key thing is. If you can make 5% a day, 3-4% a day, every day. So take the money and run, right? So in less than 24 hours, I've made like 4-5% on 100,000. That's $5,000, right? So see, I sold another 33. So you see AMAT, if you look at the bottom, this is the order history. And this is all cells, right? Now I had 200 shares, right? So I have about, 66. I have 34 shares left. So I'm looking at AMAT. AMAT is trading at 485.17. And if you look at, all the things I follow, the TTM squeeze, RSI, they're sort of heading in the right direction. So I'll likely sell my entire position once it goes to 488 or so, 480, because the call wall is at 490, as I explained to you. The call wall is at 490, which means the hedge funds and large institution players are set up at that number to sell their position, or they want to make sure that it doesn't sort of go over that position. It's typically how it works. So for a small investor like us, we need to just look at the call wall, get out just before the call wall, right? So right now it's going to bounce around a little bit because it's gone up. It's gone up $27 today. Yeah, this is a 30-minute chart. This is a day chart. Let me share that with you. Call wall is something that is not showing on any of the charts. Yeah, separate thing that I look at, and we are thinking of incorporating that into the platform. So it will also tell you where the call wall is. But these are small changes that we will be making as we grow. But even if you don't look at the call wall, you should get out at the top of the Bollinger Band. So, but the key thing is to find the stocks that are poised to go up. So when AMAT came on our scanner yesterday, I bought it because it's taken me 20 years to sort of become good at trading. Everything I know has been put into the platform by way of the developers coding that information so that the platform surfaces what I would trade. Now, it has surfaced maybe 5 or 6 options. I only took one. So the other thing that I want to record and tell people is that trading is more of a mental game, right? Everybody can look at the same thing, but not everybody will have the same sort of exits or same sort of wins that I do. And I'm not saying I'm the best thing since sliced bread. All I'm saying is that you have to develop your own style. You have to develop your own rules of how you want to enter and exit. I can certainly share what I am doing, but obviously, you have to sort of figure out how to sort of do this. There are ways of actually doing this, which I will share. You exit at the top of the Bollinger Band and things like that. I think we bought another one, which has actually gone down because of some news, but I'm not too worried about it because, news items you cannot control
Airbnb.
for. Bad news comes out. Like we bought Airbnb. It was at 138 yesterday. It went down to 131, but it's back to 134. So the other thing is not to panic out of something, and then you have to also have your exits. Okay, if it's going against you, at what point you get out, right?